Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? Happy New Year, compliments of the season. This being the first video in this year, I would like to start by talking about something I should have mentioned for a long time. Today I will just be sharing the reason why I quit my job. Yes, you heard me. I stopped working as a teacher. If you rewind back one of my videos, I said I got a job just after my Montessori training. So I stopped working based on a few reasons, which I'll just be stating briefly here. And then I started homeschooling officially. Now, if you remember, I have really uploaded a video maybe 2 years or 3 years ago. It must have been 3 years ago. Only one told me is 4 plus, should be 5 next year. So this year rather. So I have uploaded that video about 4 years ago about me considering homeschooling, and finally it's here. So let's start from the job part. I got employed, and this is my first and only officially paid employment that I have ever really had, except NYC. And I started working in 2022 and stopped in 2024. Did I know I will stop? Yes, I knew I would stop even before these other circumstances I would be giving you a tip on came up. And that's because 9 to 5 has always been an issue for me, being a person who is very experimental with her hands. Like, I am very experimental with my hands. I just know I know how to do a lot of things, and I never, ever want to get stuck with a job that will take all my time. Another thing is that I grew up in a home where, a salary home in quotes, where it is only at the end of the month money comes in majorly, and which I just got used to waiting till the end of the month till something little comes in, and then that cycle of sometimes you have to take loan, just so that things can just work out. And I'm sure I remember one day in school when I said I would never be a salary earner. So it's one thing I do not want to ever be stuck in a place where I am. I just want to have multiple sources of income, and staying in a 9 to 5 job, I was just sure I would not really do that. Even though it is possible, I know many people, are in a 9 to 5 job and also run other businesses. But reflecting back when I was there, I really didn't have the time to process many things that I would have done. Now, I'm not saying the job was the hindrance, because even now that I'm home, if I don't lift a finger, nothing will happen. So it is just peculiar to me and my environment and what I want to do, which leads me to homeschooling. So back to why I stopped. I stopped because, and by the way, I enjoyed my work there. In fact, right now I miss the environment, I miss the people. I worked with special needs for 1.5 years, and then I also worked for 2 terms, that's half a year, in it's not even up to 2 terms, in the Montessori setting, that's preschool, which is where I really trained for. So I stopped because majorly we're trying to run which is another major update. So we're relocating, leaving Lagos, and I think I would maybe share, well, everything will just be in this video really. We're leaving Lagos to Ibadan, majorly because of business, trying to run some agric products and how do I put this now? My husband has always been the agric person, producing food, healthy food especially. Is very particular about healthy food and processing them in the way that it maintains its most natural state, at the same time serves the body well and lasts as long as possible on the shelf, something like that. So, or add the value which are added to it. Right now I feel like I'm stuttering, but I hope this whole video comes together. So because of space, the expense, the cost of living in this Lagos, the cost of getting a house is exorbitant, like it's so much. And we, for the past few years now that I've been in Lagos, we've tried to, use wherever we stay to do these things. Just lately, we moved to a very big space that normally we wouldn't take because of it was a small family, but we took that size of house because we thought we'd be able to put some machines in the other space and, work. But the residential area that we are did not allow, which we thought it would be allowed actually. So I think there was a miscommunication in that aspect, and we are taking the house. So for the past 1 year, we're just enjoying free space. And I also could not run my own petty locks business and child, all of the little things I put together, which you'll be seeing more of, because I got pregnant last year, February. So just after we moved in was when I got pregnant, and it was just, and working full time, it was just a whole lot. So that space had just been empty, and which led us to the decision of, instead of renewing, we should just move to a cheaper space where we are closer to our farms, and then we have more prospect of it's like cheaper space to be able to make all of these productions. Then by the grace of God, I know the Lord is going to open the gates of every nation and state and country for sale, and the products will be a blessing. You'll be seeing more of this as time goes on. So this is the number one reason why we chose to relocate, by the way, and which is the one of the reasons why I stopped working, even though I was close to my due date as at August when I tendered, when my resignation was due. Yeah, when I resigned officially. So August through the holiday. So my children then didn't get to resume first term. Somebody's crying. So my children didn't get to resume, like we didn't enroll them for the new session in October because of homeschooling. Now, why are we choosing to homeschool? I think if you've been following me for the longest time, you would know why. It has just been, I feel this is what God is leading us to do, and it's what's going to be best for us. And if there's anything that keeps ringing in my brain, since this option has been there for the longest of time, the type of school I would like my children to be in, by the way, are schools that are very expensive. Like if you calculate the money, I remember that time when my first daughter was 18 months, and we took her to the school I ended up working in, where we all attended. We got back home and I told my husband, please just pay me all this money. I would school your child properly, which was what I said to him before I even got to even do Montessori training in the first place and all of that journey. So I just have this philosophy of education whereby I do not like the straight system of education. I feel like it is too limiting. It's time wasting and doesn't help the child to develop their full potential, like to discover themselves in the most natural way. I really do not have the words to put it in a video, but I guess with time, probably in different other ways, maybe on Instagram where I post here and there, then probably I will be able to express it fully. But I just know that right now it is best for my family. And back to what I said, back to what I said keeps ringing in my head, that if there's something I want to do, rather than not doing it because I'm not sure of how it will work out, it's better I do it and see how it will work out. So if it fails, I know I actually exhausted all my options, like I did it and it didn't work, than for me not to do it at all and it's either it worked or it did not work. So I didn't even get to find out. Like one of these is it TikTokers now or short TikTokers, I guess, she say, I'm a see for myself, I'm a want to see for myself. And God helping us, just before I resigned, my husband caught the revelation as if he had not, like that never occurred before. So we are in sync and he's in total agreement. He just forwarded me a video randomly that time. It was earlier this year. And he was like, we're talking about homeschooling, and in my mind I was not smiling. So jokingly I was telling him that, okay, is this new? This is what I've had in mind for the longest of time. So that's about homeschooling. So I've talked about relocation, and I've talked about homeschooling. Another reason why I stopped working, yeah, I think that's that. So I've talked about relocation, homeschooling, and the fact that I want to explore many other aspects of like businesses, so that there'll be more sources of income, and most importantly, just fulfill purpose. It is more fulfilling to launch into the unknown for me, knowing that it is what God wants us to do and being led by Him, than staying in the secure confines of what we are used to or what we know. So I think this is it. Me thinking I'll talk for like 15 minutes. So this is where we are. Is there any other thing I am missing? Is there any other thing I'm missing? So how did I scale through homeschooling them when I gave birth? Because October was when I put to bed, October 19, and school resumed in October too. In September, not October, yeah. So when we stayed at home, it's not like we stopped schooling. In my house, since my first daughter was, he's saying hi. Since my first daughter was 6 months, that was when I discovered Montessori. If you want to really go back down, like this journey with me, even before all of this started, please go to my earliest YouTube channel. Earliest YouTube videos, and you will see a lot of things and how I started with no knowledge of this thing. I just gathered information from YouTube and started implementing it in my home. So I can say that I have been homeschooling my children since they were babies, and which is one of the things that I missed when I started working. For my second daughter, that was when I gave birth to her, I got the job. Like she was 3 months when I started doing my Montessori training, and just after, we took 8 months, and just after the training, I got employed. I missed being with her. I missed doing baby-led weaning, experimenting things with them in the house. So it just became this cycle of, and this school these days is not like school job thing. It is a full-time work, 9 to 7 if possible. If you stay, if you receive work to do if you are in school. So it became a cycle, like you go to school, come back, bang, and children are routine. There's a set time for them to start taking their bath, to sleep, to eat, so that they will get used to it and there'll be less tantrums and life can flow easily. So there was no time to connect. So when I stopped, I had to tell myself, in fact, when I was working, actually, I had to deliberately start reading, but that was when I set a bedtime routine for them, really, that will be reading the Bible every night, no matter how tired I am. That will be my bonding time, at least with them. But it was not enough, because it's like, okay, let me read, and my second daughter falls asleep easily when she's knocked out, especially if she doesn't sleep during the day. So before I finish reading, she should have slept. So when is the bonding time? When is the playing time? When is I just thought of all that. So where was I? So I said I have been homeschooling them since they were babies, and I missed all of that. So I feel like they will grow up and leave home. They will grow up. All of this phase will pass. It is very extremely tiring, but it's more pleasurable. So I just decided I want to enjoy every moment with them and be present in it, even for myself. Try to record as much as possible. So now that school has resumed again, school still continues, really. If you ask me, we never stopped schooling, really. We never stopped schooling, because it comes naturally with me. When we're doing something, it is just a teachable moment. They are in the kitchen with me, they're cooking, these are practical life activities. They clean. In fact, both of them are learning to wash their dishes. A lot of things that we do in school, even in the school that I admire, which is closer to my own philosophy of education, and the things that we do on a normal day at home. And me being an educator now, I can call myself an educator. When I started, I was no educator, nothing. I studied transport management, by the way, so there was nothing educator about me. It is this path that's just led me to start to get trainings, because since I'm interested in this path, let me just be an expert in it. So it's just easy for me to flow into that. So if you have questions about homeschooling, feel free to drop it in the comments, and I will try to do my best to answer. And then I'll also advise that you also try to research homeschooling. Many times when people see me on the road, in the market, on a school day when children are meant to be in school and I'm carrying my battalions around, that's part of school for me. They are seeing how I transact in the market. They are seeing how I go into the bank. They are seeing a lot of things. So it is, school never stopped. Even when I was pregnant, when we put to bed, school never stopped. All I would just do is to put a little structure around it and make sure it is intentional, which is even what every parent should even do, or every teacher. It's all intentionality. The schools that we go to, if we're not intentional about teaching and making sure these children learn, you discover that there is a lot of gap. There will be a lot of gap. So I've talked a lot. One of the things, one major question that I get asked a lot, which is very important in this video about homeschooling, is that how will they socialize? My dear, don't worry, they shall socialize. The intentionality there is joining a community of homeschoolers, and trust me, there are many people who homeschool in this Lagos, first of all, and even outside Lagos, even in the Ibadan. I recently discovered that there are some people in Ibadan that homeschool. So when we move there, I'm looking forward to connecting with them. I'm looking forward, even as a brand, as Toju, to create, play dates, occasional play dates that would bring intentional families, because for you to homeschool, that means you are extremely intentional. It's not casting, but really bring intentional families together, whether you're homeschooling or not, actually. So these are my plans, to bring people together, bring their children, and then we have maybe reading dates on this week, the next week painting and messy date, another time, during that national period. Now it's like, oh, this is fantastic, we can just organize our own children to do a national day presentation in their own unique way. A lot of things. We go out together, we interact with people, both their friends, people who are not, they're adults, doctors in the hospital, the bankers, the marketers. These are real life socializations, and they are still very young. So the most important interaction they need right now is the interaction of their family, which we will not trade for anything. Then they also attend churches. So for socialization, it's not even a problem. When they learn ABC, they will learn it because they will learn it. We will teach them and they shall learn it. I don't know, someone was saying that even you as a person, as an adult, I do not remember when my child was asked to write. I do not remember when I started writing. And nobody asks that question anyways. Like, when did you start writing? Okay, when did you start writing? Please, if you knew when you really started writing, or when you started reading, the age, please put it in the comment section. For me, I cannot remember, honey. If I can, I will say I cannot remember. He's my younger brother. I can even still remember when. And I can't even remember his. I only remember when my mom got lesson teacher for him and all of that. But for myself, I can't remember. An airplane is passing by. So thank you so much for staying to the end of this video. I have to leave now. I hope I covered enough in this video. If there's any question, anything at all, please do well to leave in the comment section. And welcome once again. If you're meeting me for the first time, don't be a stranger, subscribe. Because on this channel, I do parenting, intentional parenting videos, and this one is no longer parenting. My definition of parent is not just a mom or dad biologically. It is if you're a nurturer, and that's why I love that word nurture. So I do nurturing videos that will definitely be a help to you. Thank you very much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Say bye. So meet our latest YouTuber, because we'll be most likely, if he's not sleeping, and when he sleeps, I want to sleep. Really. Which is what happened today, and that's why we're doing this video together. I remember when I was doing this type of video with my first daughter. If I can see that video, I'm going to put the link here too. Okay, see you in my next video. See you in my next video. See you later. See you. Bye.